During a stream over in Japan on the weekend, we had a bunch of news dropped on us for the Gundam Card Game, including reveals for GD02 and some new product announcements with release date confirmations as well. So in this video, we are going to go over all of that and figure out what it all means for us in the near future of the game. My name's Ben Fitzpatrick, I'm a TCG caster. That means I just love talking about them. So let's do that right now. Before we go ahead and jump into today's video, if you do enjoy it, please do consider dropping a like rating on it. Subscribe to the channel as well. Like I know nearly 90% of the people who watch my videos have not done. If you find yourself coming back on the regular and you're enjoying the content, why not subscribe? It's completely free to do so, and it helps me out a ton with the support as well. We're closing in quite quickly now, actually, on 200 subscribers. So if we can get that by the end of September, we're starting off the month strong. Let's end it strong as well throughout this month. Get to that 200 subscriber mark. That would be absolutely incredible. While you're down there as well, drop me a comment down below with some of the cards and products that you're looking forward to that we're going to chat through in this video. And also check out my link tree in the description where you can find me on other social channels like my X account, where I'll post about different gigs that I'm casting and things like that, or other general thoughts about card games and things, and my TikTok account, which is where we will generally go through each of the daily card reveals that are coming out and being drip fed for us with Gundam. I missed a load of these because, as you might see here, I was casting the One Piece card game Bologna Regionals, and a bunch of the news dropped, and me and my co-caster Ross were both sat there like, okay, we've got to cover this, we've got to talk about this, because there is a lot to go over. But for daily updates, be sure to head over to my TikTok account. So, the Gundam Card Game, we had a lot of news dropped on us. It was during the Japanese First Combat stream, I believe. We've had a bunch of card reveals announced. We've had a new property be announced to come into the game from the wider Gundam franchise, as well as a couple other miscellaneous pieces here and there. Let's go over that all-important first product reveal, or two product reveals, I should say, and that is the fact that Gundam Seed Destiny is going to be joining the Gundam Card Game. Starter Deck 9 Destiny Ignition is going to be what's called an ultimate deck. So for the first time in the Gundam Card Game, we are getting a Starter Deck Plus kind of deal with Starter Deck 9. And this graphic here sums it up really nicely. What is an ultimate deck? An ultimate deck is a pre-built 50-card deck, so what you would get in your regular starter decks, plus around 20 additional cards for extra customization. You're also going to be getting an exclusive original die to go with it. This is really, really interesting and a bit of a different take from what Bandai card games have done before with their deluxe starter deck style products. The One Piece card game have a similar thing called either an Ultra deck or a Starter Deck EX, which is what they've been known for recently with Starter Deck 21, Gear 5 Mono Red Monkey D. Luffy. These Ultra decks have typically been of the 50-card deck. All the cards have been in foil, and you would have gotten multiple leaders to play with those same cards with. So in Starter Deck 10's case, it was Luffy, Law, and Eustace Captain Kidd. For Starter Deck 13, it was Luffy, Ace, and Sabo, the three brothers. Starter Deck 21 has recently bucked that trend a little bit, but that's because instead of the three leaders, you're now getting a promo pack similar to what we get in our regular starter decks for Gundam. Some of the cards will come in a alternate full art style treatment. Well, this time we are getting extra cards to swap in and out of the 50 card pre-build. And I'm really, really interested to see how this is going to go and how this is going to pan out. I like this on face value because it means that for players that are maybe looking to try and get into the game for the first time, you're not just immediately playing with the 50 cards straight out of the box. You've got 20 or so extra cards to swap in and out, adjust your strategy a little bit, depending on what your natural play style is. So maybe putting it to be a little bit more control-based, building it so it's a little bit more aggressive. This is a really, really interesting take here, especially because at the moment in the Gundam card game, and as far as I'm aware in Bandai Card Game's history, we don't have anything like a side deck. There's not a 15 to 20 card extra pool of cards that you can use to chop and change with your decks in between games with. Granted, this is because a lot of the Bandai card game catalogue is best of one. You only play one game in a match per round, and will only go to that best of three when you get into the top cut stages of a larger major tournament. But these additional cards here are really, really intriguing. Also begs the question about what kind of ratio that these additional cards are going to come in. Generally, with a 50 card pre-build and a starter deck, you're only getting like 2 copies of one of the LRs. You're getting maybe a playset of 4 on some, 3 copies of another card like we saw in the other early starter decks. Are these 20 additional cards going to be 20 individual cards, or are they going to be part of a playset? These are questions that are going to continue to be answered and developed on as we get closer to its release. I think it's really, really cool. I think it's a really, really unique decision to go ahead and include these additional cards. Will it backfire, though? We'll have to find out when it releases in 2026. Yes, we have confirmed release dates for this Ultimate deck, as well as GD04. We haven't got a name for it just yet, but GD04 is announced and confirmed to be released in April of 2026. And remember, this is going to be a scheduled release worldwide, because from the Gundam card game, we are synchronized with Japan from day one. So there's not going to be any delays in terms of regions, at least planned right now. This is what we get. So we've got the Iron Bloom starter deck, which we've been covering a lot of reveals on so far over on TikTok in a month's time. Then the following month, we've got Clan Unity and Dual Impact, so Starter Deck 6 and GD02 releasing on the exact same day. That's a first for the Gundam card game so far as well. Then jumping into 2026, into the middle of January, you've got Starter Deck 7 Celestial Drive and Starter Deck 8 Flash of Radiance releasing on the same day. And then at the end of January, you've got GD03. Then hopping into March, where we've got the Ultimate deck, and then a month's gap until GD04 releases in April 2026. So this is your updated product schedule that was unveiled for the Gundam card game. Really, really interested to see what cards come out of the remainder of these sets. Obviously, we will have had purple at this point for quite some time when we get into January. Is there another color maybe planned for the Gundam card game? Something like yellow or black like we've seen in other Bandai card games? I'm not sure. That, though, we will have to wait and see about. A couple of other products that I want to quickly highlight before we go ahead and get into the other cards itself. We've got these beautiful sleeves that are going to be available to purchase exclusively at regional championships venues. So I believe that this is going to be at stage 2 of the breakdown of competitive play. It'll be stage 1 or stage 2. Again, if you go back to my video talking about all of the routes to the World Championships, these names are still very, very confusing. But these will be available to purchase exclusively at regionals venues And I love the look of these, especially the Char sleeves. I think these are probably my favorites. But you've got Char as Earnable, the Visit Foundation, the Tekadan, and the Pomeranians. Those are your official extra matte sleeves that are going to be available to purchase. There is also this beautiful thing, which is already on sale, and I believe will have sold out potentially at the time this video goes up. But the premium accessory set for Mobile Gundam Wing, where you get alternate art versions of the Hero Yui pilot card and a show of Resolve, a full 10-card resource set, a deck box, sleeves, divider, a beautiful playmat, and a case to all store them in as well. If you've managed to get yourself one of these, let me know down in the comment section below. You can see it here as well that another product run is under consideration with updates planned around October. So if there is a confirmed announcement next month about a restock of this premium accessory set, we'll be sure to let you know and update you. Finally, in terms of new sort of products, quote-unquote, we've got to talk about before we get into some of the new cards that were revealed, we've got to talk about this. And I really, really love this. You'll hear me saying that I love this a lot about a lot of the things that are being shown here. And that's because it feels like Gundam is doing a lot right at the moment in its early release windows. We've got a collaboration that's been announced in November with SD Gundam G Eternal. And we're getting a collaboration pack that is going to be available as an additional participation prize at store tournaments. So this isn't going to replace your traditional promo card pack that you would get for playing in a local store tournament. This is extra. And it's even better because they are EX bases. We've been at a premium in terms of EX base promos at the moment. They've been pretty hard to get hold of. These, however, are going to make things so much easier. Similar to the store tournament participation pack, you're going to get one card per pack each time that you play. It will be random out of these 5 types. Not sure whether they'll be in foil or not. My bet will maybe be on yes, considering that the participation cards for the store tournaments are foil as well. At least have that rare kind of foiling to them. So my bet and my guess will be yes, these will be foil in some description. If so, again, huge, massive, colossal win from the Gundam card game early on. I really love this, and a lot of people are going to be very happy to get their hands on an EX-based promo a lot easier than how it has been at the moment. Also, quickly, I lied as well. This has literally just been announced about 20 minutes ago. There is going to be, similar to what we've had in the starter deck battles and the release event for GD01, there will be a release event for Starter Deck 5, and in it, you are going to get alternate art versions of Gundam Barbatos second form and with Iron and Blood. Winners are going to receive an additional set of them. So confirmation there that there won't be a winner's treatment of these cards, but the winner of these events will go ahead and get themselves an additional set and pack of these promo cards. Right, that's all of the products out of the way. That's the release window. Let's talk about some brand new cards that we haven't covered already. We're going to start off with a pilot. This is Charlie Ball GQ. All of these cards from GD02. Level 5 1 cost in green, Xeon and new type traits, not bad. +1/+2, while you have another unit with high maneuver in play, this unit gets +1 AP. So really interesting that we're focusing on this high maneuver here because Char as Earnable pilot can grant high maneuver to link units when it attacks. This effect goes around during this turn. So it should, at least how it's printed, stay in for the Chalia Bull here, so to give it that extra 1 attacks boost. This is really, really nice. We don't have too many pilots at the moment in the game that give that +2/+2. It's either conditional or it's on Bandai links at the moment, is kind of the reasons, the ways that we've got this +2/+2 going on at the moment. Green, obviously a very, very popular color as well, being played. I'm using it at the moment, green-white, in the Operation Meteor deck. So I like the look of Chalia Bull at the moment. Have to see what more Xeon or new type support that comes in GD02. Next up, we've got the Rick Diaz Red, a level 4 3-cost uncommon white unit with the AEUG trait and looking for that exact same thing as the Link pair. It's 4 AP, 3 HP, and on attack, chooses 1 active friendly base, rests it, and if you do, choose 1 enemy unit that's level 4 or lower, it gets -2 AP during this battle. This is really nice. I like the sound of this. We've had a little bit of a tease of some AP reduction cards in white. Things like Unforeseen Incident and Kira Yamato come to mind immediately. Here we're getting another instance of AP reduction, and we're taking advantage of some active bases that don't have activatable rest effects. So things like your white base, you don't have to rest that once you've used its effect. It's just a pay to resources, but the base still stays active. So if we were going to take this in blue-white, for example, we could still go ahead and rest the white base. Same would go for something like Corsica base, like the Underground Depths that's being played very popularly in green at the moment. There's a bunch of use and versatility that this card is going to be able to grant from some of those bases. Really, really like the sound of this. The one thing I really, really want to see more of, especially in GD02 though, is some payoff for all of this AP reduction that we're doing. It's not something that we've really had much, if any, of at the moment in the Gundam card game. We've got a lot of reduction going on, but we've not got a lot of payoff. We've not got a lot of things that destroy units of a certain AP, that bounce units of a certain AP. The Witch and the Bride focuses on HP, for example. So I'd love to see a little bit more of that in the game in the future. Is this maybe hinting towards that we're going to be getting just that? Next up, we'll talk about a purple card and a rare as well for the first time in this video. It's Garrod Rand and Tifa Adil. It's a level 4 1-cost pilot, +1/+2, vulture, and new type as well as one of the traits. When paired, you may discard 1. If you do, look at the top 3 cards of the deck, take a vulture unit among them, and add it into hand. Return the remaining cards randomly to the bottom of the deck. This is good. This seems very, very good at face value. It's a when paired effect, so you don't have to worry about having a specific unit on the board that's either looking specifically for Garrod Rand and Tifa Adil, or vulture and new type traits. You can just chuck this onto any unit, pitch one that you don't really need right now, and then search top 3. The other reason is because it is that searching of top 3. We don't have too much search going on at the moment in Gundam. Things like the Chazaku 2's Destroyed effect and the Path to Victory or Defeat are the only real search effects that are in the game at the moment. And we've seen in other Bandai catalog games like One Piece and things like that, that searching the deck, at least top 5 or top 3 searching, is such an important consistency tool to make sure that the heart of your deck gets online. It's certainly one of the minor things and minor criticisms that I think I have of the Gundam card game at the moment, is that in some games, it can very much be a case of who sees more, right? You had those hands, I'm sure, if you've played the game from launch or if you've started to play the game a little bit, you've had those hands where you've been forced to sort of take a turn off a little bit. you know, your opponent's gone heavy on things like overflowing affections and show of resolves and the path to victory or defeat to be able to sculpt their hand to perfection and get those unit and pilot cards when they really, really want and need them. But there have been some games where you will have been top decking for glory, only been fighting things like bases and pilot cards and no units, or just like a blocker or something like that, and you're trying to force to play those down to keep tempo, but your opponent's got a board state of about 3 or 4 different units, 2 of them are link pairs, and you're in a whole world of trouble. This, however, I think is going to really, really help to fix that, and I have a feeling will be something we see a little bit more of in the game in months and years to come, if other Bandai card games are any other kind of example. It seems like we've been taking a leaf out of the playbooks of a lot of different Bandai games with Gundam. This, I think, is certainly no exception, and one I think we will be seeing more of in the not too distant future. Another rare we get to talk about is going to be Gundam X, and we've just spoken about Garrod Ran. Well, here is its link unit. It's a level 4 3 cost, 3/4, during pair with a Vulture pilot, and when destroyed, so both of these effects have to be live at the same time, you choose one Vulture unit that is level 5 or higher from your trash, and add it to your hand. So here, we're starting to see a little bit of synergy going on with this Garrod Rand and Tifa Adil pilot. When paired with the effect, go ahead, pair with the Gundam X, discard a level 5 or higher, get that top 3 search, and then when this unit is destroyed for any reason, you can just go ahead and fish that card back. Really, really nice here, and of course, with the +1/+2 boost, this goes ahead and becomes a 4/6 unit when link paired with that Garrod Rand. So, pretty beefy unit, maybe not the strongest AP-wise, but maybe that's where some of that AP reduction comes in with some of those cards in white. There's last couple of cards here we've got to talk about. We've got the Daughtess, which is just a simple level 1/1 cost, 1/1, activate main support. Not bad. Good early on to get some damage, maybe to clear an EX base in an aggro deck, or maybe just to get that last little bit of point of damage that you need to take care of a enemy unit that's rested on the board. Doesn't seem bad. Then we've got Gundam Ashtaron MA mode, level 3 2 cost, 3/2, looking for Ulba Frost as its link pair, and then on deploy, choose one of your new UNE units. It gains high maneuver during this turn. So this could be used in one of 2 ways. This could either, or in fact even one of 3 ways. This could either be used just to push some damage through. This could either be used to take care of an enemy unit if your opponent has just trying to body block with a load of Lefriths and Zawarts and things like that. This could also just be a surprise game-winning combat trick. If your opponent has just put a load of blockers out and is just saying, right, I've got 2 or 3 blockers on the board right now, I feel like I'm nice and safe even though I've got no cards in my shield area. If you've got at least 1 unit already on the board that is new UNE type, you can just drop this Ashatron, give it high maneuver, and swing over the top for game nice and easy. I like this card as a combat trick. New UNE is a trait that I don't think we've seen too much of, but my guess is that we'll be seeing a lot more of it in the remainder of the Dual Impact reveal season. We've then got Police Zaku Armored RRU type, level 2 1 cost 2/3. This unit can't choose the enemy player as its attack target, so Zawart has got itself a little bit of a brother, but this one not with the attack trait. I think, for the most part then, we've covered all of these, at least on my channels of other descriptions. If there have been any I've missed, either on this video or compared as well from the TikTok account, be sure to let me know, and I'll quickly cover a video or make a video to cover the other card as well. I've definitely seen the Age 1 Titus before. Calamity Gundam might be the one that I've not seen before. Level 5 3 cost 3/5, looking for biological CPU trait as its link pair. Once per turn, when this unit's AP is reduced by an enemy effect, choose one rested enemy unit, deal 2 damage to it. This is interesting. This is really interesting. It's a bit of an anti-blue-white tech, or white tech in general, especially with stuff like Kira Yamato and the AP reducing Gundam, which I think is the Ale Strike, if memory serves me correctly. But this is really, really interesting. Has to be a rested unit, which is a little bit of a shame, so can play around it quite nicely. But a little bit of a tech choice, maybe, that Blue could start running, particularly to combat the mirror. Biological CPU trait, so what kind of pilots do we have for that at the moment? Let's have a look. We do not have biological CPU being listed at the moment as a trait. So right now we've got nothing as biological CPU. Will we see more in the set? Absolutely, I'm sure we will. Will it be strong enough to bump some of the pilots that we're already seeing in blue-white? That's going to be another debate, however. What that is going to be, however, is the end of the video. So, we'll turn it over to you. What do you think about the cards and products that have been announced over the weekend for the Gundam Card Game? Are you enjoying them? Are you already starting to maybe brew with some of these new cards? If you are, let me know, because I'd love to see what might be getting played in the GD02 meta. While you're down there as well, if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to go ahead and drop a like rating on it. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already, and check out my link tree, as I've said, for other daily Gundam Card Game reveals and other content over there. But that's going to do it for now for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, we'll see you soon. Goodbye for now.